afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes,
Can you all hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much, Mr. Adewale. Today I'm going to be taking your questions from last week. So last week I did an introductory session to cybersecurity. Today I just want to answer all your questions, all your doubts. You need any clarifications? I just want to answer all your questions today. Yeah. So do we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Please try and unmute yourself so that we can we can all hear clearly. Yeah. So sorry. Do we have a list of all the questions so I can just start answering them? Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Do we have a list of all the questions, or would you like to start asking me questions randomly? Do you have a list of? Yeah. Sorry.
Maybe you ask Mr. Adewale or Mr. Davis.
Okay. I'll ask Mr. Adewale.
Sir, please, before we start, maybe after the class, I want you to give me your contact.
Honestly, I think if you need my contact, you can ask Mr. Adewale. Yeah. Just ask Mr. Adewale if you need my contact. He should be able to provide that. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anything you need to get from me, just talk to Mr. Adewale. Yeah, he's leading. Yeah, he's leading the program. So just ask Mr. Adewale directly. Yeah, but I can ask all the questions. I can answer all the questions you.
Good evening,
have
Mr.
today.
Victor.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Itoro James. I'm from Akwa Ibom State.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that I was not able to participate in the last class.
Yeah.
So I really believe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I truly believe I really missed in our part of the introduction class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard so much about cybersecurity, and I've not been opportune to attend a class on it before. This is my first time. So I would love you to please give me a little, summary of what cybersecurity is all about.
Okay. Itoro James, I'll give you a little summary. But please, Choma, Deborah, and Odank, can you please mute your mic, please, so that we can all hear. Yeah. Yeah. Choma, can you mute your mic, please? Okay, so
sorry, Mr. Victor, there is an option for you to mute all. When you click on participants, you can just click on mute all, so nobody will disrupt your class.
James can go to the YouTube channel and get the last this thing from Jenna.
Yeah, I downloaded it, but I just need, watching the video is quite different from you giving me that summary explanation. I don't even
so others do the due diligence of watching the video. I think if he's going to do that, then he won't be doing a favor to those guys, right? So watch the video. If you have a question, drop it so that you don't delay others, right?
I was thinking today is a question session. If that is the case, we can proceed then.
Please, I have a question, sir, Mr. Victor.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Daniel. I was the one in the last class that spoke about having a practical knowledge about cybersecurity. That I have the theoretical knowledge, but It's the practical knowledge I'm seeking for. And then you said I should reach out to ADVC so that he can connect me with you, but it was not possible before now. So I don't know if there's a way you can enlighten me about having practical knowledge about cybersecurity.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes.
Daniel.
Why jókòó?
Ganusi.
Sorry láti ẹwà mi.
So, Ogunwale Damilare, I guess you're the one that was asking the questions. The question with regards to learning hands-on cybersecurity. So, like I said, reach out to Mr. Adewale. Mr. Adewale has a program on hands-on cybersecurity. Reach out to him, and he's going to discuss everything with you. He's going to give you more details on how the program is going to run. So there's a particular chain of communication that we use in what we are doing. So you can't just come through. You can't just skip that process, or you can't skip the link or the connection and discuss directly with me on how to give you training. Mr. Adewale is running this program, and I believe he should be able to provide all the support and information you require. But like I told you last week, I can teach you hands-on cybersecurity from 0 to master level. But first of all, you need to reach out. You need to discuss with Mr. Adewale what sort of training you require, the cost implication of the training, and then Mr. Adewale can discuss with me later. So please try as much as possible to reach out to Mr. Adewale, and I believe he'll be able to clarify you, and he'll tell me how I should be able to support you in the training as well. So just try and reach out to him, like I mentioned last week. But I'm willing to support you as soon as you are able to discuss with Mr. Adewale. I'm willing to support you, and later I can also connect with you on LinkedIn, and then we discuss about your progress when you start the training. But you have to reach out to Mr. Adewale first, please. Yeah. Okay. If you have a question, I just drop drop a message on the chat. I'll unmute you so you can speak. Yeah. If you've got any question.
Yeah, my name is Tomilola. I'm from Ibadan.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a graduate of Criminology and Security Studies.
Yes.
All right. So last week you spoke about the aspects and branches of cybersecurity, and I'm particularly interested in digital forensics. So you mentioned, are you with me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you. That's why. Yeah, I can hear you. Keep going. Yeah.
About digital forensics, you said it's all about investigating and gathering digital evidence against illegal authorization, against attacks, and all that. And you particularly mentioned about learning a bit of Python.
Yes.
Yeah. So I personally, anything that has to do with coding, programming, it scares me. So how much is the bit of Python that we need to learn?
In digital forensics, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Tomi Lola Adedeji. Sorry, I had to call your full name, but you don't need to go deep into learning Python. With digital forensics, you don't even need to have like that Python knowledge. You only need to have like a bit of Python, with digital forensics. So with digital forensics, you have different tools. You have software tools, you have hardware tools, and there's a lot of bash scripting as well. So you need to learn more of bash, which is Linux-based commands, than Python with digital forensics. you need to learn more of Bash than Python with digital forensics. You don't need to go deep into Python. It's fine if you don't know programming, but you don't have to worry about I don't know programming and I may not be able to go into digital forensics. No, I mentioned having a background of Python in cybersecurity in general, network security, because you need a bit of Python in packets library to be able to run some attacks, malware attacks with cybersecurity. That's network security. But with digital forensics, you don't need to know. You don't need to go into Python, so you don't have to worry about Python. But you need to worry a bit about Bash. So Bash is Linux-based commands. So I
So
think
what part of Python are you what bit of Python are you saying? Are you talking about, sir?
okay, so with network security, in packet, there's a particular library called in packet in Python. So we use in packet for offensive and defensive security. It's just a library. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Yeah. So Tomilola, you don't need to worry about Python, but you need to worry a bit about Bash. And Bash scripting is something you can learn from scratch. So Bash scripting is all about learning how to use Linux-based operating system. I know you're familiar with Windows, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in digital forensics, most professionals use Linux-based tools such as DD. DD is a tool for creating forensic image. Usually, the first stage in digital forensics, or the first stage after you go to a suspect's home, after receiving your warrant, the first stage is seizing the suspect device. And when you seize the suspect device, you need to make a copy of all his drives. So if you go to a suspect home, you find a hard drive, you find solid state drive, you find every form of storage media you find in the suspect home. The first stage or first step is to make a forensic
Gathering
image.
evidence.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I said
Yeah.
more or less gathering evidence.
Exactly. So you not just gathering evidence. Yeah, it's part of gathering evidence, but these are essentially the first stage, four stages. You collect all the necessary evidence as well as the RAM. Yeah. So you collect the RAM information. And why do you have to collect the RAM? You collect the RAM information because RAM stores volatile data. And if you don't capture the RAM at that time, if he decides to shut down his device, you lose every content stored on the RAM. So in that stage of collecting his evidence, high-level professionals use Linux-based commands to do that, Linux-based tools to do that. It could be commands or it could be tools in Kali, Ubuntu, Metasploitable, Security Onions, Raspberry Pi. These are all different types of Linux operating system, depending on what operating system your organization is using as a forensic analyst. So you need to learn how to use Linux-based commands and tools, yeah, to collect the evidences. You also need to learn how to use Linux-based commands and tools, which is bash scripting, to analyze the evidences. You also need to have the knowledge in Linux to be able to extract every hidden information. For instance, data hidden using steganography, slack spaces, data hidden in different partitions. So you essentially need bash scripting, bash knowledge, and not Python with digital forensics. So you have nothing to worry about. If you're going to enroll for this program, I'll take you through the basics of bash scripting, from creating files, creating folders, accessing root directory in Linux operating system, to how you can collect evidence with bash. So I'll take you through the basics. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I don't know Python programming. No, you don't have to worry too much in digital forensics. I understand your background or the background you're coming from, and you're going to be fine.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. What's going to happen is, I have a lecture on digital forensics. Since you've asked this question, I have a lecture on digital forensics tomorrow. at the university. I already created my material. I'm going to send it to I'll send it to Mr. Adewale after I finish my session tonight, so that if he can send it across to you, so you have a look at the material. This is like this is going to be my first session with my students tomorrow. This is level 5, Introduction to Digital Forensics. So you see how I design labs for them and how you can be able to learn as well. It doesn't matter if you don't have that background. Yeah. So don't worry about Python. No, you don't have to go. You're not even going into offensive security. With digital forensics, you can be good. We have so many professionals switching from law to digital forensics, and they're doing very good. No math knowledge, no Python knowledge. You're fine.
We really appreciate that, sir.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, no
I would
worries,
really
no worries.
appreciate it.
I'll
Thank
send
you.
the lab. I'll send the lab. I have 2 labs. I have one on digital forensics and another on operating system. So I'll send both so you have a look at it. Yeah,
Thank you so much,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. No worries. Yeah. Any questions? I want to hear more questions, please. I have some time. I have enough time. So yeah, ask me more questions, please.
So I said I have like 7 questions here from last week that we could not answer because of time.
Okay.
So I can just read out some, right?
Okay.
So the
Okay.
first question is from Solarin Olakunle.
Yeah.
And the question was, how long does it take to become a cybersecurity service? This question was asked 8:23 p.m. last week.
Okay. So I'll answer this question first.
Oh, sorry, it's 2 questions, like 2 in 1 question.
Okay.
So he wrote here to clarify, cybersecurity is the responsibility of the service user, service provider, or both. So let me repeat the question again. How long does it take to become a cybersecurity savvy? To clarify, cybersecurity is the responsibility of the service user or service provider or both.
Okay, so I'll answer the first question. So cybersecurity, it takes if you want to know how long it is going to take you to become a cybersecurity expert or cybersecurity savvy, it all depends on you. So it depends on you as an individual. How much do you want to know this, or what's your level of consistency, or how consistent do you want to be? Yeah, you have to set this. You have to set specific goals for yourself. I want to learn cybersecurity in 3 months. I want to learn cybersecurity in 5 months. I want to learn cybersecurity in a year. I'll use myself as an example. So in the second year of my PhD, I told myself I wanted to learn federated learning. Federated learning is private AI, and it's something most tech companies are doing right now. Google's launched federated learning. So I gave myself a time frame of 6 months, and I told myself in 6 months I'm going to learn federated learning. But I have a full-time job, and I also have a full-time PhD. How am I going to do this? So I try as much as possible to study 4 to 6 hours every day. I try to study 4 to 6 hours every day, and I practice, I learn, I practice, I watch videos, I learn. I also do some research on Google Scholar to find journals to support me in my federated learning program. Also, because federated learning is still growing, I had to reach out to University of Arkansas, collaborated with some of their researchers, professors. So they gave me some resources that costed a lot of money, but I was able to use them for free. So 4 to 6 hours every day, I was able to do that. And in 6 months, I completed my federated learning course. Now I can create federated learning algorithms. I can build different federated learning models. I can combine federated learning algorithms with cybersecurity technologies such as differential privacy, homomorphic encryption to create secure algorithms and models for privacy preserving in Internet of Things and smart devices. So it all depends on you. How much do you want to know this? When do you want to learn this? Yeah, so it depends on you and how consistent. I need to if this is what I really want to do, I need to be consistent. If I want to secure an internship opportunity, or I want to get a job in 4 to 6 months, it means I have to be doing this every day. I have to dedicate time irrespective of my schedule, irrespective of my commitment. So it all depends on you. You can learn cybersecurity in 3 months, you can learn cybersecurity in 6 months, you can learn cybersecurity in a year or in 2 years. It all depends on you. And trust me, there's no point in registering for any course or any training if you're not going to discipline yourself or you're not going to be consistent. Yes, we'll provide the resources, we'll provide the learning platforms, we'll support you with additional resources, but you also need to learn every day. You don't just depend on what you learn. We'll give you everything you need, but you have to be practicing. When I say you don't need to depend, I'm not saying you know. You will give you all the resources, but you have to be practicing because you have to also do a lot of work on your own. Practice, watch the videos, not just watch the videos and try to mimic the things I do, or what not just watch recordings and try to mimic the things I do or the things other instructors are going to do. No, watch them, understand them, and go home. When you go home, you practice. Yeah, understand and you practice. So it depends on you. And also, I did mention that cybersecurity is the responsibility of everyone. So it doesn't matter whether you're an ISP or a user, it's the responsibility of everyone. As a user, you're expected to know the basics. You're expected to know how to prevent yourself from clicking malicious mails. You're expected to know that when you see malicious links on Instagram or on Twitter, you're not expected to click those links. You're expected to prevent phishing scams, or phishing scams that are usually done by these fraudulent people from India and different countries. So you're expected to prevent yourself from all those form of scams. Also, as our internet service provider or as cloud service providers, they have the responsibility to ensure that security by design or secure by design principles are embedded or incorporated into their systems. So in cybersecurity, there's what we call secure by design. This means that at every stage of the system or software development, security is always prioritized, such that the analysis stage, implementation stage, maintenance stages of the software, the system, the security platform, all have security infrastructures in place and prevent any form of unauthorized attack or any unauthorized access on their systems. So security is the responsibility of both the ISP, the user, as well as every individual. Yeah. Any other question? Let's go to the next question, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So the
Yeah.
next question here is, how do I stay up to date with the latest security threats and how to manage them? How do I
Okay.
stay up to date with the security threats and how to manage them?
Okay, so when you say how do I stay up to date with the latest security threats, it depends on what type of security threats you're talking about. There are different types of security threats. So there are threats to Internet of Things, there are threats to computer systems, there are threats to networks. So it depends on, first of all, you need to know, you need to identify a specific focus area. But if you're someone that is interested in general threats, the only way you can stay up to date is by research. So by research, you can do that by research journals every time. I mean, in a month, at least in a month or in a week, at least I study 2 or 3 journals from Google Scholar. So that's one of the ways you can stay updated. So by studying those journals, I tend to find new threats, new solutions on how to prevent those threats. I also tend to identify more ways to like exploit IoT. So whenever I study about threats or new attack patterns in cybersecurity, what I do is I purchase IoT devices to see how I can launch those attacks on those devices. And then I try to come up with measures that I think can be applied to prevent those threats. So the best way to stay up to date with threats is by reading journals and also reviewing articles from GCHQ, MI5, MI6, intelligent organizations, intelligent databases. University of Sydney, Australia has a very intelligent database where you can stay updated with latest threats, and they also have different data sets for you in that area as well. Yeah. Next question, please. Yeah.
So there's a question in the chat box already by
Peter. Yeah. What is the
Yeah.
roadmap of becoming a pen tester? What are the things one can prepare to learn? So, Peter, the roadmap for becoming a pen tester, offensive security, is quite straightforward. The things you need to learn includes Python and Bash scripting. So you need to learn Python and Bash. But with Python, you don't go deep into learning Python for data analysis or learning Python for AI. You essentially need to understand the libraries in Python that are applied to pen testing or network security. And also, with Bash scripting, you essentially need to know a lot of Bash commands. You're going to know a lot of Bash commands to become a pen tester. But don't worry about Bash scripting. Bash scripting is something that we are going to train you from scratch. So we train you from scratch with Bash scripting. You learn how to like I told I can't remember the name, sorry. But like I told you, the colleague that joined, with Bash scripting, I'll take you from scratch, from creating files, identifying directories, and yeah. So Bash scripting and Python are essentially all you need with pen testing. And I think with consistent learning, 4 to 6 months, you should be able to learn how to conduct different types of pen testing attacks. Between 4 to 6 months, depending on how consistent you are, you should be able to conduct 4 to 6 different types of pen testing attack. And also, with pen testing, there's no point in learning pen testing if you're not going to pursue the certified ethical hacking. So after learning pen testing, the next thing you should do, or the next stage, is pursuing the certified ethical hacking certification. That certification opens doors of opportunities to you. You can have remote jobs from Nigeria, wherever you are. I don't know where you are, but you can have remote opportunities even from Nigeria as a pen tester. But you need to have that certification in your CV to show the world that, yes, I've been able to learn pen testing and I have been certified. That is the most prestigious certification in in pen testing and network security, CEH. When you have that in your CV, you have access to 5 and 6 figure job opportunities, and it also solidifies your knowledge and experience in pen testing. And yeah, you start reaping the fruit of your labor. Yeah. Any other question, Peter? Yeah. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Yeah. And just to let you know as well, with regards to pen testing, there are several scholarships for
What's the
CEH.
VPN and how you do it?
Pardon?
Some of these questions have been their best friend, but the question by James is, what is a VPN?
Okay.
How does it improve security?
Okay, so I'll answer that question, James. So a VPN, a virtual private network, is just a way to disguise on a network. So you know how you can just camouflage or disguise yourself on a network. So a VPN helps to protect you from it helps to secure your IP address. So when you're connected to a network, usually your IP address is not always protected or secured. A VPN will help isolate and disguise your IP address on a network to prevent external attackers from reading your IP address and identifying your MAC address and everything that has to, every form of information that can uniquely identify you on any network you're connected to. So it's a secure way to connect to a network. Yeah, to prevent any form of integrity or confidentiality attack. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
please, since you have been
Yeah. Go ahead with your question. Okay. What it seems this network is bad. I'll take the next question. Gideon Paul. How important is the CIA triad to cybersecurity? So Gideon, the CIA triad is very important to cybersecurity because first of all, I'll start with C. The C. C is confidentiality. Gideon, confidentiality is very important. You're sending a data from a specific network to another network, from a network in Abuja to a network in Lagos. Without confidentiality, your data is not going to be secured. Your data will be exposed. So confidentiality ensures that there's secrecy in your network, secrecy in your data. How can you enforce confidentiality? Encryption is one of the techniques. So encryption is a technique that converts plain text to ciphertext. So you're sending a data from Lagos to Abuja, yeah, or you're sending data on a network from Lagos to Abuja, for instance. When you use encryption, it converts the plain text, yeah, the data, the message. Assuming the message is, let's say your grade in 100 or 200 or 300 level. So encryption converts that plain text, the data written in plain text to ciphertext. It converts it to a format or a a a way in which no one can access the data unless they decrypt it. So that is the C in the CIA triad: confidentiality, availability. Availability ensures that data is made available to only authorized users when they need it. This is very important in cybersecurity. One of the ways to ensure availability is constant backup. So imagine you're working in a very large organization and something happens, yeah, system crashes, and you lose your data. Assuming you do not have, the organization doesn't have a big, a solid or a standard backup system, what happens? It becomes difficult to recover the data. And without data, how would the business function? So every organization needs to ensure that business continuity is prioritized. Disaster recovery is prioritized. So that's availability, ensuring that data is accessible anytime you use it. So assuming, okay, we are currently using, I'll use this as an example. We are using Zoom to communicate now. Assuming at the point of connection, Zoom fails or Zoom crashes, the application becomes unavailable to us. So this is one of the goals of cybersecurity. The A in the triad ensures availability. Integrity. Integrity ensures that if investigator Victor, for instance, yeah, is investigating Gideon's Gideon as a suspect, is investigating Gideon's computer system. In the course of collecting the evidence or in the course of evidence gathering, investigator Victor should ensure that the data found in Gideon's device is not altered or tampered. That is integrity in cybersecurity, ensuring that no form of alteration, yeah, or tampering is made on data at any point. Yeah. I hope that clears your questions, or I hope that answers your questions perfectly, Gideon.